Means it's time to put up or shut up for the series top drivers. Steve Kinzer carried a scant 11-point lead into the Eldora high bank. Steve Dahl, for the second time in 2 years, hit the Eldora wall hard. He walked away, leaving his points lead crumpled in turn one. Hometown favorite Dave Blaney muscled his way past the series-leading money winner Mark Kinzer, and the Buckeye Bullet staked his claim to the role of favorite for tonight's run at $50,000 and the King's Royal Crown.
It is a perfect evening for the greatest show on dirt. The 14th running of the King's Royal at Eldora Speedway in Rossburg, Ohio. Well, the cover of the latest issue of Open Wheel magazine pretty much says it all. Eldora, the baddest track of all. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Evans. Now, the drivers have a love-hate relationship with this nasty old oval. Some of them love it, and some of them hate it. As far as the fans are concerned, well, I think we know where their sympathies lie. Now, we hope you enjoyed the show we brought you last night. Actually, it was more about 3 o'clock this morning. But still, sleep or not, we're all pumped for the King's Royal, because it begins what we call the month of money. Take a look. Starting with the King's Royal and ending with the Knoxville Nationals, which also will be live here on TNN, a driver who can sweep the table, knock all the balls in, win 4, will collect over $280,000 from a $1 million purse, and maybe enough points to get the Pennzoil $200,000 in the year-end bonus. Now, let's take a look at tonight's format. Already 6 heat races have been completed, and the top 3 transferred directly to the A main. First up live tonight, we'll show you the 12-lap C main, started straight up by time. The top 4 will tag the 15-lap B main. The top 4 out of the B main go to the A main, but they could start as high as 7th because they get their qualifying times back. And the cool thing about the King's Royal, promoter Earl Baltus has always demanded a great show. So what's he do? For 50 grand, he inverts the top 6 for 40 laps. It's going to be a wild one. And I'll tell you, as late as it was last night, it was still thrilling because one of Ohio's own, the Buckeye Bullet, strangled him. Here's Bobby Gerald.
That's right, Steve. And the man hoping to take home the first $50,000 in the month of money is the Buckeye Bullet, Dave Blaney. Now, Dave and his Kenny Woodruff wrench number 10 have won the last 2 World of Outlaw events here at the Eldora Speedway. Dave, you were plenty fast last night, but the night before the King's Royal, only in the last 10 years, only one time has a guy won the night before and came back to win the big money on Saturday night. Can you do it tonight?
Really? Oh, yeah, we can do it. It doesn't look like we're going to have that great of a starting spot, but 40 laps here is a long way. If you're working good and you can get up on the racetrack, you got a shot at it.
Your driving style on this racetrack, you run a noticeably different line. How long did it take you to learn to run that close to the fence?
I've probably been coming here 15 years and probably done it wrong 13 years. So now it's a little bit of a confidence thing here, but it's a lot more of a race car thing. Well, you got to get your car entering the corner just right so you don't have to shake it loose up there, and you can set sail if you can get that race car entering just right.
Dave Blaney was spectacular last night. We're expecting more of the same from him tonight. Joining me in the pits, as usual, is Dave Reef.
And I'm down with a guy who knows everything about making a lot of money. Mark Kinzer and his father have won a lot of money over the last year. In fact, last year they won 3 of the 4 big sprint car races that will take place over the next 30 days. That's $250,000 alone. But one thing Mark Kinzer and Carl Kinzer have never done, won the King's Royal. What would it mean to you for you to win that tonight?
It would mean a lot. You know, the King's Royal was actually began before they even had the big one, so there's a little bit more tradition here, maybe a little bit less money, but we would like to win this for ourselves and for our sponsors, Stu Murray of Wortkin, Ray Williams, and Phil Durst. They're all probably watching on TV. Stu's are standing right here, so we're going to do our best job.
Well, the best thing for Mark Kinzer going so far tonight, he's the quick qualifier, and he's already made it through his heat. So he's already in the A main. Let's go upstairs to the eyes in the sky. That would be Ralph Shaheen and Brad Doty. Thank you, Dave. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our marathon coverage of live Pennzoil World of Outlaws sprint car racing from here at Eldora, Ohio. 7 straight hours of action from here last night. If you stuck with us, you truly are an Outlaw fan, and we really appreciate you hanging in there with us. It was a long night for everybody. At least 2 hours of great racing for you here tonight. $50,000 up for grabs, and the 14th annual Kings Royal champion will be crowned here tonight. This racetrack, as we have already stated, is one of the most daunting of them all. And Brad, when you talk to the drivers as they roll into the pit area here, they will all tell you as soon as they step out of the transporter, their heart's beating a little bit quicker, and there's a lot of adrenaline flowing because of this racetrack. Why is that?
Mine is. Goosebumps. I'll tell you, I've got them now. Just the speeds, 150 mile an hour plus down the straightaways, that far from the wall. Dave Blaney talked about entering the corner. If your car is nice, it takes a lot of control to be up there. As you see, it's 850 feet through the turns, 28-degree banking. Your neck gets sore, your arms get sore, the fatigue sets in, you're running inches from the wall. It takes a lot of concentration, Ralph.
And you can see from the pictures how it's a constant turn here. It really is tiring on these drivers. Now, points is a really big story here, as well as the money. Coming into tonight, it is the closest battle we have ever seen in the Pennzoil World of Outlaws history of this series as they chase the championship leading into tonight. You can see there's been a bit of a change atop of the point standings. Last night, it was Steve Kinzer on top as we went into the race. Tonight, Sammy Swindell with a 5-point lead on top of Dave Blaney. But the key is really the Steve Kinzer story and what happened to him and how he got knocked back to fourth in the point standings. With more on the King's story, here's Bobby Gerald.
Well, Ralph, many of the viewers were with us last night on TNN, and they saw a scary crash in the A-main event. Steve Kinzer working traffic and getting into turn number 1. He got up high, got the car into the wall, and it was a pretty ugly flip. The good news is that the King is okay, and he's back here ready to race tonight. Maybe the bad news, and I don't know. We'll ask Steve for the team, is that you're racing with a backup car tonight, Steve. And is this car tonight as good as the one that you set quick time with last night?
No, it's not as good as car. This car was here was actually built to run just on a mile tracks, and we started to roll another one in the trailer, but we wasn't planning on tearing one up last night. So it's got some low frame rails on it. They're pounding on the ground a little bit, but you never know what's going to happen in racing. It's a complete different night, and we might get by with it, but it don't feel near as good as the car had last night.
Steve Kinzer, 14-time World of Outlaw champ, 3-time winner of the Kings Royal, the only guy to win it 3 times. And Steve, you got a lot of fans, a lot of them concerned about how you're feeling today.
Oh, I'm feeling all right. It was, you know, it banged me around a little bit and stuff, but we come out of it pretty good. This is a place you really don't want to be trying to knock a wall down. I've hit Earl's wall many a times here, and I've not knocked it down yet, so it seems to win all the time.
Glad to see you're all right. He is one tough customer, Ralph Shaheen.
He is arguably the toughest driver in the entire world of motorsports. $50,000 up for grabs at a King's Ransom, and the Outlaws in action when we come back. Tonight's TNN Motorsports special presentation of the King's Royal is brought to you by Pennzoil, formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Go Pennzoil. By Mopar, Chrysler Corporation parts, and the Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, Jeep, and Eagle dealers who sell and install them. And by 104 Plus Octane Boost. Feel the power.
Welcome back to the Kings Royal Eldora Speedway. Body painting is all the rage. That's not very creative, but it says the message. We're live here on TNN. Let's go down to the pits and Bobby Gerald.
Well, Sammy Swindell is the guy who's going to be starting on the pole of tonight's Kings Royal. Sammy back in the trailer right now, working on his helmet, making sure that he's going to be ready to go for tonight's run. And Sammy, a good place to be starting. You won this race in 1992, and you can't get any better than the pole tonight.
Yeah, well, the outside's probably the best place to be, you know, here tonight. And I don't know the way our luck's going. I don't know. We've been running fast and just having a lot of bad luck.
Last night it was a spark plug that kept Sammy probably from a win.
Yeah, something hit it and broke it. You know, it didn't look broke until we, you know, had time to take it apart. We seen that it was busted, and you know, we tried to run on 7 cylinders, got a third out of it. We held on for about 6 or 7 laps, but can't beat these guys on 7.
He'll be hoping for better luck tonight, Ralph Shaheen.